Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of the Big Money Show, brought to you by the team of Big Financial Services. I'm your host, Kristen Oakley, and I'm joined by the president, Glenn Cummings. We're so glad that you're joining us today. We have a lot that we want to get to. We know that the reality is most Americans have the majority of their wealth saved up in IRAs, those individual retirement accounts. We're going to be talking about some of the common mistakes we see people make with those accounts because we want to help you avoid making those same mistakes as well. But before we get to that, Glenn, my friend, are you ready?
All I know is one thing. Let's go. So excited to talk about planning and IRAs. And, I hope many of you at home that have watched our show, we've got such great responses from people that are calling in. And this is such a blessing to me, is to be able to try to educate and teach and share things with people. And, I had a client came in the other day and she had literally like our little notes here. This is what she had from one of our segments.
That's
3
awesome.
pages of notes,
I love that.
And I was just completely blown away. And a lot of the things that she had in her notes were a lot of the things that you do all the research on to make me look good. So I wanted to thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
I really did.
It's a team effort. It's very co-collaborative.
It is.
And I love that we know that we are connecting with people because it's about changing people's lives for the better. And that's really what this show is all dedicated to you, is helping you make the best decisions possible you can with your hard-earned money. I know I said we're going to be talking about a lot of the mistakes that folks make, but before we get into all that, Glenn, I'd love for you to share, just really break down your planning strategies.
Okay.
What are you able to do for folks when they come in and they have these statements, they have these different retirement accounts? Walk us through what that conversation and what that planning strategy process is going to look like.
If you go to a doctor, right, and you've got an ailment, your knee hurts or something, right?
Right.
You may need an X-ray. You may need an MRI.
Right.
You may need surgery. Who knows what you may need, right? Retirement planning is very similar to that. What do you have? What are your goals? Where do you want to be in the future? When are we going to pay off that mortgage on the house, right? Do we want to buy a new car? Do we want to travel? So every single one of you has your own goals and your own dreams. And some of you are frustrated because you think, gosh, I've got to have this much money before I can retire. And many of you could retire today with the proper planning. Right. So it's a matter of, we have something called a client questionnaire. So when you come into the office, it takes you about 10 minutes to complete. It's like something you get from a doctor's office, right? Very simple. You simply fill it out. You sit in the office with me and I look over it and I say, man, this client's main concerns are taxes. Or their main concern is income. Right. So we'll review what your concerns are, and then we're going to share different plans and planning tools that can help you with figuring out how to reduce those taxes, how to get that guaranteed paycheck that you deserve to get the rest of your life because you're not going to want to work any longer. Right?
Yeah, but it has to be replaced, right?
It has to be replaced. But in a lot of cases, a lot of us that are working can spend a little bit more money because we're making a lot more money in our working years. And we don't think, man, I can retire with lesser income. But in a lot of cases, people can. It's a matter of sitting down with a professional and it's budgeting everything out.
Yes.
Right? Budgeting your income. When's the best time to take Social Security? Right? That's a big, big factor in our retirement planning, right?
Yep.
Are you going to be able to have health insurance, or when are you going to go on Medicare, right? So that gap between, say, 60 and 65, how are we going to do that? All this stuff is a matter of planning your future. And the people that have planned out there that are watching the show, they're not going to call in. Why? Because they've already done the planning. They've done everything we're sharing with them. But 80+% of folks don't even have a plan.
Right. Yeah, they have a pile of statements.
Yes,
right?
a pile of statements.
It's not the same thing as having a plan. Those retirement accounts are tools. They are what make up a huge part of the plan, but they in of themselves are not the plan.
They're not the plan. But all of you are different. Not everyone has IRAs. Not everyone has 401ks. A lot of people have real estate, right? You know, and they may have sold a home up north and they have this big tax liability and they don't know how to diversify out of the tax liability they have, right? A lot of people that are in real estate love that income that comes in every month. They need to replace that income. Well, what can they do to replace that? What plans are available? What tools are available to help them with that, to reduce their overall taxes? And, you know, one of the recent clients that came in after he sold a couple of his properties, and we're sending him guaranteed monthly checks every month now. You know, he decided to purchase an annuity that provides him guaranteed income for him and his wife. He said, Glenn, he goes, my rental property that I had that was generating less income than this annuity is, I had to worry about the tenants paying their rent. I had to clean up the place when someone left. I had to pay the taxes. I had to pay the insurance. You know, I'm now out of that business and I've now sold all these rental properties and now you've given me what I've always wanted, a guaranteed income that I don't have to worry about, that I don't have to stress about, and I don't have to worry about, you know, fixing up the place or putting in a new refrigerator when it breaks, you know? So all of us have different asset classes, we call it, right? Some own equity positions, some own bonds, some of us own life insurance, some of us own annuities. A lot of these things, like you said, are called tools. The goal is to bring that whole toolbox together, pull all the tools out, and figure out which one's the best one to take income from first. Right? Which one's the biggest tax problem that we could possibly eliminate that 5 years down the road when we're required to take RMDs, we don't ever have to take them. Isn't that nice?
That would be amazing, right?
You know, that's a part of the planning we do. And here's what's really great. After you sit down and we build your plan for you, we don't charge $1 to build the plan. We give you the copy of it to read and look at it. You could take it and go run up the street, you know, or go try to do it yourself. We bring value. That's what we do. We never charge a consultation fee. We bring value. We give you all of the tools that we have. We share it with you. And the thing about it is that probably 75 to 80% of you, when you go through our process, will work with us, okay? So it's worth it to us. If everybody just took our plans and left, okay? We wouldn't be on TV here. You know, we wouldn't be helping you folks out, but you know, people see our tools, they see what we've done, they're blown away, okay? And those 15 to 20%, those are what I call the procrastinators. And there's a lot of you out there that are gonna see our phone number and never call. You're gonna procrastinate. Stop doing that. Don't procrastinate. Let's get together, let's build some plans, share some great ideas with you. If you don't have a plan for your retirement, call us, we can help you build one.
Wonderful. So well said, Glenn. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I didn't stop talking for like the last 10 minutes there.
I apologize. All good. No, you shared so much value.
Excited.
Yes, because this is really exciting. And again, there's so much that goes into making sure you have a comprehensive, holistic financial plan that is working for you. If you don't have a plan, or maybe you have some semblance of one, but you want that second opinion, Glenn and the team would love to be able to provide that for you as well. But it starts with you picking up the phone and making this important phone call by dialing 888-503-7408. Or if you'd like to connect online, you can simply scan that QR code and that will get you connected as well. Stay with us. We've got a lot more to cover on today's show. We'll be back right after this.
Do you currently own an annuity? Are you aware of what type of annuity you own? For years, annuities have been a cornerstone of retirement planning, but they're not all created equal, and unfortunately, your current annuity may not be serving your retirement goals as planned. The good news is that rising interest rates could mean better guarantees in some cases, as well as better benefits for you. In short, more income, possibly in the future. Is your annuity up to date with the new market conditions? You see, I like to look at annuities similar to like a CD in a bank. The last 10, 15 years, you were lucky to get 1% on a CD. But today, if you go into a bank, they're much, much higher, which means that you may be able to get better interest rates on your annuities with better benefits, better rates, better guarantees, better income for your family. So please sit down with us, schedule a time to see if your old annuity measures up to the new annuities that are available. Call now for your complimentary annuity review. We look forward to hearing from you. As Americans, we strive for better. From a better house to a better career to a better life for our kids. Better has become the American way. But when it comes to your retirement, what does better mean to you? More income? A flexible lifestyle? Better solutions? A better retirement begins with a plan. To get your complimentary written financial plan, call the number you see here. You only retire once, and this is your opportunity to plan for better.
Welcome back to the Big Money Show. I'm Kristen Oakley here with the president of Big Financial Services, Glenn Cummings. We're so glad that you're tuning in and joining us today. If you're just joining us, Glenn did such an excellent job in the previous segment explaining the planning process, everything that goes into building a comprehensive, holistic financial plan for you. And Glenn, we know that so many folks out there have never had a plan built for them.
Never.
It's not in writing. And I think in absence of that plan, this is what perpetuates that fear. We know it's the number one fear of most retirees, which is running out of money. And you did such a good job of explaining that it's important to make sure that the paycheck piece for one's retirement is taken care of.
Yes.
Because once we stop working, that paycheck's not coming in anymore. You mentioned having a guaranteed paycheck. How are you able to go about creating that for your clients?
Well, here's the thing. Many financial advisors, I call them accumulation advisors, right? So I want you guys to do this tomorrow, okay? Just do this, okay? Don't call the office now. Don't schedule a meeting. Just call your current advisor. Call your current 401k, right? Wherever your money is, go to your local bank, and I want you to write this down. I want you to say to them, I want to see a guaranteed check hit me and my spouse's bank account for the rest of our lives that no matter what happens, we're guaranteed that same check to hit our bank account. Go ahead. What are they going to tell you? They're going to be like, well, based on the stock market, we could probably guesstimate a check, you know, or the bank's like, well, if you've got a CD here, you know, we can't guarantee that because the rates go up and down. And
Right.
Life insurance companies, right, have these things called annuities, right? How many, was it billions of them last year?
So in 2024 alone, and this is according to LIMRA, there was over $432 billion in annuity sales. It was another record-breaking year. This is, I think, the third year in a row that they've had record-breaking years. And I think it stems from what has happened in the markets, especially at the end of 2022.
Yeah. So an annuity is a pension. That's all it is. Many of you have heard of those. They're not negative. It's like Social Security. It's a guaranteed check that's going to always hit your bank account, right? So if you don't have a guaranteed plan that gives you a guaranteed amount of income at a certain date and time, and those are the kind of plans we focus on, right? Where we know exactly what you're going to get at a certain date and time, they're called a rider. It's called an income rider. And you can purchase those in the contract. And I like to just have that extra guarantee saying, hey, I know that this rider, if I turn it on, say 5-6 years down the road, I know exactly what it's going to be per year or per month for my wife and I. And what's nice is that once I turn on that guaranteed income, no matter what, even if the money runs out in the contract, the insurance company is required to still pay that lifetime income to either me or my spouse until we're gone. That's very, 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 very powerful.
Yes,
right?
for sure.
So if you don't have at least that income portion of your portfolio established in advance, the sooner you do this, the better, because in a lot of cases, these companies will provide you a significant, some cases, double-digit returns to that income value with the current rate environment. So the rates are higher now, so there's a lot of great tools and annuities that have not really been available, which is why you said how much money's going into them. But the reality of it is that I want to know what my income is going to be in the future. And if I know what that's going to be, and I use that more as a bond alternative. So many of you have 50% of your money in bonds, which when interest rates go up and down, affects the value of the bond.
Correct,
right? Market value of the bond. I don't want market risk. The bonds can still have market risk. Well, that annuity, if it's a fixed or fixed index contract, may provide guarantees for market risk. So I never lose my money over here, and I retain the gains that it earns. So if it earns returns, if I go from, $100,000 to $110,000, it locks in the gain. So for some reason the markets drop the next year, I'm still at 110,000. Does your 401k offer you that, folks? Doesn't.
Nope.
Right? So if I have that nice piece over here that's protecting my future income when I turn it on. And the other money that I have, I'm going to look for some top 30 large cap companies that are big, safe, and sound, that are going to provide me some dividends, some income, and I have full liquidity to that money that I can spend it and enjoy it because I know that I always have this backup plan ready to go in case something ever happens here. Right? So if you don't have that in your plan, and I'm not saying that's for everyone. Many clients don't even do annuities because they have enough money in pensions and rental income where they can just shoot for the fences. It's not a needed tool for them, but in a lot of cases for people, it really is a needed tool that they never learn about. And you need to learn about it, see what's available, and talk to someone that's an independent fiduciary that's going to try to build and show you those best possible annuities because there's some out there that aren't as good. We talked about that. There's some that are good, some that aren't as good, or some that were purchased when interest rates were very low. Well, now the interest rates are much higher than they were for the last 15 years, but those rates are starting to come back down again, right? So when they do, a lot of these plans that are available today that provide these unique long-term guarantees, they're getting a little bit, not going to have as many benefits moving forward if rates continue to go down. So right now is a great time. We're overwhelmed with business. We're slammed right now because there's still great opportunities to look for guaranteed types of investments that can provide income. And in a lot of cases, the long-term care benefits too.
Yes, which is providing such a needed alternative since traditional long-term care insurance isn't, working out for most folks. And it's really hard when you don't know how much money you might need, if you are ever going to need long-term care, but statistically, you have to plan for it. So this is providing a great opportunity and way for folks to do that.
Yeah, and what's nice is that's called a long-term care rider, right? So you have that benefit. You also have some that have a death benefit rider. So those are guarantees within those contracts that are specialized for you. And then what we do is we shop all of the carriers. I don't work for a certain carrier. Right? So I'm going to shop them and I'm going to go with which one I believe is going to be the best for you. It's not just me deciding. It's I will show you 3 different plans. Options. Well, on this protection side, this one provides bigger income up front. This one provides bigger income down the road. When do we think we're going to turn on the income? Well, we're going to turn it on down the road. Well, this is the best, right? Based on all the numbers and figures. And this one, by the way, provides the biggest death benefit to your spouse. This one doesn't. This one may have more income, but it doesn't have as big of a death benefit. This one does. So it's all a matter of sharing with you. And I like to look, when I look at annuities, I like to look at the guaranteed T's in the contract.
Yes.
I don't care about hypothetical, how it's
Right.
going to grow. And those are contracts I really stay away from. I look for guarantees. No matter what happens, if the markets crash the next 10 years, I want to see guaranteed how much income am I going to have at a certain date and a certain age that I can turn on. And here's what's nice. I can take a 401k and roll it over into one of those. I can take an IRA, roll it over into one of those.
Yep.
I can take cash in the bank and purchase an annuity, right? So they really accept any money from anywhere. I can put a Roth into one of those, and then that Roth will provide tax-free income.
Right.
So lots of options.
Yes.
Sit down with us. Let us share with you how to build a plan, including some of those ideas just to take a look at.
Right.
You don't have to.
Right.
But once you take a look and you have an open mind, many of us have closed minds because of what we've heard.
Yes.
Right? And the big broker dealers, the big money managers never want you to take your money out of their portfolios because they're losing their fees.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So
So
if
you have to
take-
consider the source.
Consider the source,
Yeah.
right? But some of those planning tools are very unique. Look at them, see what's available for you and your family.
Yeah, awesome. Glenn, thank you so much for that awesome explanation. You know, the reality is one of the biggest mistakes folks can make is they think that they just have this lump sum and they are just going to live off that and hope they don't run out of money. What we're sharing with you today is it's not about your lump sum, it's about your income. How are you going to take that money you've accumulated and turn it into a reliable, ongoing, steady stream of income that you are confident you can't outlive? And as Glenn just so well detailed, there are resources and tools available to help you do that. If this sounds of interest to you and you want him and the team to build you your very own complimentary written financial plan, you can reach out by either calling 888-503-7408 or scanning that QR code that you see there in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. We'll be back with more right after this.
The opportunity for investors in the stock market is unsurpassed. There's many folks out there that are truly wealthy that have made investments in the stock market over the years, dollar cost averaging through their 401ks, buying the right stocks and bonds at different prices. But there's also a lot of folks that haven't done that well in the stock market. Maybe you don't have good advisors that may be able to help you with doing the type of work necessary behind the scenes to pick and choose some of those best portfolios. Sit down with the financial advisor to get second opinions of what's available and what may help grow your retirement savings. Because I tell you what, all of us would like to retire one day, and the ones that pick and choose and do the right planning generally win. We'd love to talk to you. Please give our office a call. As individuals, we strive for better. From a better house to a better career to a better life for our kids. But when it comes to your retirement, what does better mean to you? More income? A flexible lifestyle? Better solutions? A better retirement begins with a plan. To get your complimentary written financial plan, call the number you see here. You only retire once. This is your opportunity to plan for better.
Welcome back to the Big Money Show. I'm Kristen Oakley here with Glenn Cummings. We're so glad you're joining us today. And if you're just tuning in, Glenn just did a really good job of dropping some truth bombs into the situation about what you may or may not be doing with your retirement accounts. And I want to go back to something you said because this ties in to one of the biggest mistakes that we see folks make with their retirement accounts, paying too many fees.
Yeah.
So many folks are doing it. They have no idea that they are. It's almost like they're financial termites eating away their retirement savings. So talk about that.
Fees overall can devastate your retirement savings. And so many times when I talk to folks and I'm like, really, so what are your fees you're paying in your current portfolios? Well, I'm only paying a 1.5% or 2% advisor fee. That's all I pay. It's what my advisor told me. And I say, okay, well, you know, these funds that you're in, these mutual funds, right? You ever heard of a 12B1 fee? No. Well, let's do an analysis and let's see exactly what your fees are.
Right.
And a lot of clients are completely shocked, completely shocked. And in a lot of cases, we talked about annuities earlier,
right?
We talked about annuities. Let me share one that's kind of unique. It's called a fixed indexed annuity, right? With a fixed indexed annuity, number one, you never lose $1 if the markets were to drop, right? So if you put in $100,000, it's locked in at $100,000, right? So if the markets drop, you don't lose that $100,000.
You're not going to go below that, right?
Exactly. Every year, based on the indexes that you choose, right? So you have multiple indexes, similar to like a mutual fund, right? And they have caps, margins, spreads. Sometimes the insurance companies can limit the amount that you would make on some of those accounts. But the benefit is that let's assume you make 7, 8, 9%, right? Based on an S&P 500 index. Now you're at 108,000 and you're locked in that next year at that amount. Right? So if the markets were to crash, you're still locked in. So if you want to get rid of the market risk, you can do that. And a lot of these also don't have any fees, right? Now they do have limits. Some of them are contracts. They might be a period of time for a contract. But a lot of them have free withdrawal provisions anyway. So you can have access to some of your money if you need it without paying a penalty.
Right.
But if you're nervous with the markets right now, if you're nervous with where things are headed, you're tired of paying fees. I'm not saying to put all of your eggs in that basket, but that's a very simple basket to reduce your overall fees, reduce your risk, still give you the opportunity to take money out if you need it. And like I said, reduce your fees, helps your money grow a lot better in the future.
Well, and I know that when folks come in to receive this complimentary written financial plan from you, you're able to run a lot of the reports. It's almost like you're doing a portfolio x-ray. Is that a good way to describe it?
Oh, I love that.
To be able to peel back the curtain and see, okay, this is how much you're actually paying in fees. Outside of the advisory fee, everything you're invested in, nothing is for free. And so talk about that reporting and what they're going to be able to glean from coming in just for that analysis.
Well, they're going to have an analysis that's going to show their overall fees that they're paying in their portfolios. It's going to show the overall risk that they have. And then we're going to share solutions how they can reduce that. But if someone says, Glenn, I'm happy making 5, 6, 7%, in the markets, but they're paying 2 or 3% in fees, they've got to make 10% to make that 7%. Got it? And then they're taking market risk where they could lose a big chunk of that money if the markets go down, right? That may be that fixed indexed annuity option that could be available, right? So shop around, see what's the best one, what's going to provide you the best returns, best income. Let's get together, let's build a plan, give us a call, folks. We'd love to meet each and every one of you.
Wonderful. Glenn, thank you so much. Such a wealth of knowledge and information. And thank you for joining us. Again, that number to call to reach out so that you can schedule your time to come in and receive your very own complimentary written financial plan is there for you on the bottom of your screen. 888-503-7408, or you're welcome to scan that QR code and that will get you connected as well. Be safe, be happy, be blessed, and we look forward to being back with you next time here on The Big Money Show.